So I just wanted to do an update of where I was at with my Eagle Mike Doohickey upgrade kit. Little kind of a mixed bag. I have the new Eagle Mike Doohickey installed. However, I am going with this original configuration of a spring you can see in there with the lever. I tried the torsion spring setup and I drilled a hole in the right spot. I was very happy with the way things were looking. The problem is not with the direction of where you hook the torsion spring. The trouble is the doohickey is not clearing past the metal in the back here, so there's no room to hook the spring. In other words, if the doohickey was up here somewhere, you could hook a spring. But I don't know if maybe my chain is just not stretched out enough yet to warrant putting a torsion spring on. But there's really just no way to hook it. I tried doing it anyway, and it's not, like I said, it's up against the metal on the back there. There's a metal plate right behind the doohickey. So I did switch to the Eagle Mike doohickey because now I've got a lot more adjustment left. As far as fit goes, though, even the stock doohickey, there really wasn't much difference. I didn't notice with this bike anyway. Again, this is a 2017, so maybe there's some differences. I don't know. Another difference I noticed is the stock tensioner bolt had a washer already behind it. Other videos said that it doesn't have a washer, but the 2017's come stock with a washer. I mean, I've had this bike since brand new. I'm the only one that's ever driven it, worked on it, whatever. So, yeah. So anyway, the torsion spring setup basically just won't work with this. I've had the cover off, the inner cover off a couple times. I did do the drop of the washer into the sump hole thing. I actually did it twice. It was actually not nearly as catastrophic as I thought it would be. I took a piece of coat hanger wire, which is right here, just wire coat hanger, and was able to easily fish it out in about a minute. It was not a big deal. Like I said, I ended up dropping it twice, took it apart, got it all turned around. I didn't know which way to put it back. There is a wider shoulder and a skinnier shoulder on this sprocket here, the tensioner sprocket. So the wider shoulder faces out. Thank you to my climber's manual for saving my butt on that one. I was able to check all the alignment. The chain is all aligned with all the shafts and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of disappointed about the torsion spring. After looking at the whole setup, honestly, I really think that the initial spring setup with that lever is going to give it mechanically more pull. The spring setup the way from the factory is going to have more tension pull on the chain, where the torsion spring is I don't know. I'm kind of not sure how I feel about it. I thought it was going to be all set and definitely a setup that way, but I don't know. My gut's telling me go with the factory setup. Like I said, that spring initially didn't have much left in it, and it still doesn't have a ton, but it had more than I thought once I really started looking at it. My other video cut out really quickly because that's when I first initially was all excited to pull the spring off, and I accidentally pulled the shaft out of the idler lever, and that's when I first dropped the washer. So that's why that video cut out. Yeah, like I said, it's my first time doing this. I'm not a professional mechanic or anything. But I like learning about it, honestly. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, so that's kind of my quick overview of what's been going on. I mean, I'm taking my time. I'm busy working and raising a family and stuff, so I just kind of pecking away at it a little bit at a time as something to do this winter. So yeah, like I said, I am going to switch. I did switch, as you can see, to the Eagle Mike Doohickey. But I'm not gonna switch to the torsion spring. I thought that I was going to, but I've since changed my mind. If that spring breaks or fails, if I hear any sudden funny noises or whatever, I'm just gonna shut the bike off, and that's that. And then I'm not afraid to take it apart and fix it. So, as far as cleaning the gasket surfaces, again, this one's all nice and clean, ready to go. This one still needs to be cleaned up. I didn't do that one. You can see the gook on it. I've been using I know people are going to cringe, but just a Dremel. It's got like a very fine wire brush. And I tried using just like, WD-40, just a plastic scraper. And Christ, I tried using my fingernail and toothbrush. I was like, forget it. It doesn't work, I'm 100% convinced that the Dremel wire brush is such a fine wire. I can't even see any scratches on the aluminum, and if they are, they're so microbial, whatever. I don't think it's going to bother it. So that's what I'm going with the setup with my bike. It's my bike. That's what I'm choosing to do. And a little disappointed, but honestly, after seeing the whole setup, I had the torsion spring in there. Drilling the hole was fine. All of that was no issue. I'm really not sold on the torsion spring setup. I watched a bunch of videos on guys justifying the torsion spring setup, and I'm not saying the points aren't valid. Again, I mean, this spring very well could break at some point, but at the end of the day, it's an aluminum motor, aluminum cases, everything on it's kind of light and susceptible to breakage eventually, and bearings wear out. But like I said, I think it's part of just being a knowledgeable rider and an aware rider. And if you start hearing funny noises from your bike, stop and check it out. Like I said, now that I've had these covers off, and now that I do have the Eagle Mike puller tools and all that, pulling the rotor off was no big deal. Taking the covers off now to me is certainly no big deal. So if I hear something funky, I'm not afraid to just take it apart and check it out. That's where I'm at with the Eagle Mike Doohickey upgrade kit on my 2017 KLR, and that's kind of where I'm going. The rest of it should be pretty straightforward, just putting it back together, and hopefully I don't have too many surprises from here on out. The only other thing I'm going to do this winter is change my fuel shutoff valve to the Yamaha version of the manual one without the diaphragm, and might do the T-mod thing to my carburetor, because I've had it stalled on me twice in the rain. I've checked all my electrical stuff. Things are fine. It is a vacuum thing in the carburetor. I believe it's just, they said it only takes a couple drops of water in that tube that goes to the float bowl of the carburetor to block that. So I'll just put like a T, a little bit, make a T-mod in there, and you guys can research it if you know what I'm talking about. But just kind of want to give you an update on how things are going and what my experiences has been with this Eagle Mike Doohickey lever upgrade kit. So thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye.